संयुक्त राष्ट्र महासभा में विश्व के बड़े नेताओं ने 2030 तक टीबी को पूरी तरह से खत्म करने का संकल्प लिया। टीबी लगभग एक शताब्दी से इलाज योग्य है, बावजूद इसके आज भी ये दुनिया की नंबर 1 संक्रामक बीमारी बनी हुई है और इससे सबसे ज़्यादा लोगों की मौत हो रही है। पेश है न्यूयॉर्क के यूएन हेडक्वार्टर से वरिष्ठ पत्रकार सुतपा देब की रिपोर्ट।
The United Nations' first ever high-level meeting on tuberculosis in New York last week was long overdue. TB kills more people than any other infectious disease in the world. Last year, 1.6 million people across the world died of this ancient disease. However, TB figured 5th in the list of special sessions on health issues called by the UN. The first in 2001 was on HIV/AIDS, followed by meetings on non-communicable diseases, Ebola and antimicrobial resistance. Global efforts have been inadequate for decades, and TB has been an invisible disease at the bottom of political priorities. At the high-level meeting, several African heads of state showed their support to the cause of ending TB by being in attendance. The participation from other global regions was not equally strong. However, with world leaders endorsing the UN Political Declaration on TB, the meeting is a starting point. The political declaration provides a framework to accelerate efforts to end TB by 2030 as part of the Sustainable Development Goal 3 and reach all affected people with prevention and care.
There really is global momentum, and I can see visible commitment from heads of governments, but also from many other partners. Everybody feels that the status quo is not acceptable. The fact is that we do have the tools to bring down the burden considerably, and especially to bring down deaths due to TB. So the call today was to find 40 million people with TB in the next 5 years and to treat all of them and cure them, and also to prevent TB in at least 30 million people.
TB-Free India campaign.
India has announced its own ambitious plans to eliminate TB by 2025, 5 years before the global goal of 2030. India accounts for a quarter of the world's estimated 10.4 million new TB cases a year.
India has shown that political commitment, and along with Sri Lanka, we are also, he has decided that we will go for preponing the SDG achieving, that is by 2025. And for that we have gone for a new strategic plan, a national strategic plan for it. And you will be happy to note that this year we have increased the budget only to fight tuberculosis by 54%. Many initiatives have taken place, initiative related to early detection, and for that we have put gene expert machines, approximately 1100 plus machines. Practically every district is covered.
The Southeast Asia represents a huge number of people with TB. 45% of them come from these countries. And there are very big challenges ahead. So the biggest challenge that I can see is the scale, is the need to scale up and to accelerate this effort unprecedented. And that involves huge areas, involves a lot of population, and involves private sector.
To turn the tide against TB, activists say the commitments in the UN Political Declaration on TB must be backed by investment and action. While the political declaration has a target of $13 billion a year for TB programs, there is a funding gap of nearly $6 billion.